Hello everyone, I'm Brian Plocharczyk, professional actor, voiceover, and instructor with the Acting Studio Chicago. And we are here today to talk about getting started with home recording for voiceover. Now, I'm not an audio engineer, I'm an actor. So I know from when I was trying to figure this stuff out for myself that it felt overwhelming. There is a lot of info out there, and listening to audio engineers or gearheads can be a lot of information overload. So these are an actor's recommendations. And I firmly believe in the KISS principle, keep it simple. So you can focus on the stuff that you need to act and still be competitive with your audio. Okay, now anytime you are talking gear and production value of recording, it's important to realize that they're stepping stones of quality. Yes, you can record an audition and submit from your phone and book it. Maybe. But it's not the most professional sounding. Just like if you were an on-camera actor or print model, you could book a job off of a selfie, but it is not the most professional or the most likely thing to happen. So, if you are on the tightest of budgets and have $0 for gear, here are a couple of hacks for you. If you absolutely have to use the onboard mic on your phone, play with the distance and angle to the microphone and try using a sock or a nylon as a pop filter to help eliminate some of those popping P's and other plosive sounds. Now, next up on the low budget ladder is using the microphone on your earbuds. Now, this might only improve your quality a little bit, but it has the added bonus that you can actually hear yourself when you're recording. Now, be careful though, you don't want to pick up rustling sounds from your movement and touching the cable, so try using a clothespin or a paper clip to attach the mic to something stationary. Now, similarly, you may want to try to do something like that with your phone, maybe using a kickstand or something like this, boom, as you're recording, having that on a desk or on a bookshelf. So now we have some choices to make. So your setup is going to be decided by two choices: an XLR mic or a USB mic. And do you want your setup for home or for travel? Now, to oversimplify the difference between XLR and USB, it's essentially the difference between analog and digital. Microphones take the vibrations from your voice and convert them to an electrical signal. That electrical signal gets converted into a digital signal that your computer can read. So on one hand, we have XLR microphones. Now, XLR just refers to this 3-pin connector type, by the way. So don't go into Guitar Center asking for an XLR mic. What you want for voiceover is a condenser microphone to pick up all the little nuances in your read that make it and you unique. Now, these mics require an audio interface, a separate piece of equipment that transfers that electrical signal into a digital signal that your computer can read. Now, on the other hand, this is the Blue Yeti. This is a USB microphone, meaning that the interface is built in right there inside the microphone. And this cable here just plugs directly into your computer. That's it, you're done. So the argument between USB and XLR comes down to this. XLR has better quality, but has more components and can be a little more complex to set up. USB is usually cheaper and easier to set up. Now, if you want to get a decent USB mic, look at companies like Blue, Audio-Technica, Rode, and Apogee on the more expensive end. Now, to get something worth its weight, plan on spending at least $100 to $200. Now, before we talk more about XLRs, let's talk travel. So there are a ton of affordable travel mics out there. The sound quality is not going to be amazing, but it'll work for auditions in a pinch. Plugs right into your phone, and it is small enough to keep in your pocket. Now, this is the Blue Mikey Digital. This is retired from my gear, but it worked well for me for a couple of years for recording on the go. You can find this and other plug-in mics like the Rode Video Mic Me and the iRig Fieldcast and FieldStream, all for around $50 each. Now, if you have a little bit of extra money to spend and you want to get the super small travel mic, check out the Shure MV88 for around $150. The quality's solid for auditions, and it comes with a really cool app. It has lots of features on it for your phone. Now, on the XLR side, Shure also has the Motif series that has some pretty cool mics and travel interfaces. You can find travel interfaces at a bunch of different price points, usually starting around, I don't know, $50 or so. Now, this is what I've been using for my travel gear. This is an AKG P170. As one of my friends said, you could hammer nails with this steel. This is the iRig travel interface. Just connect that by our XLR cable here, snap that in, and I think I got all of this for $150. So not super expensive. The important features here that you're going to want are the ability to monitor or listen to your live reads, and the ability to adjust your gain or your recording volume. Those are things that you want to make sure that you are adapting to your recording environment. And speaking of recording environment, let's go check out mine. All right, welcome to my not so glamorous VO studio / wife's basement walk-in closet. All right, regardless of what you're recording on, the space you're recording in is equally as important. Avoid large open rooms with high ceilings or rooms with lots of reflective surfaces, like tile. It might be great for recording a rock album, but not for voiceover. Ideally, you need a smaller space with lower ceilings and lots of fabric to eat up extra sound. Now, if you don't have a great space, you still have some options. Shotgun microphones, like this one you see here, sometimes are referred to as directional microphones or supercardioid or hypercardioid mics. Now, they pick up sounds from a very narrow area, so they don't pick up as much of your room noise. Now, a couple of accessories that you are going to want to think about getting. You see a pop filter here. This helps reduce some of the plosive noises, the P's and the B's on our microphone. We've got our mic stand, of course. We have what's called a shock mount here that isolates the microphone from vibrations. We've got a music stand, of course, so you can act with your hands, some headphones, and of course a light source so you can read your copy. Now, if you're on a tight budget, try using what you have. Blankets, comforters, pillows. Play with where your mic points in the room. When I first started recording at home, I created a little box for my microphone out of an old mattress pad. And that worked well enough for the mic I had at the time. In fact, you can see some of the remnants of that box right here on my wall. Now, as you work your way up from the price point of free, you have some different options, right? Portable booths, things like the Porta booth or the Tri booth, or even a whisper room if you have a lot of extra money to invest. Otherwise, you can treat your room with Orlex soundproofing, or you could get something like this. This is my Chaotica eyeball, and I use this on my large diaphragm condenser mic. Let me just pop this filter off there. All right. So there's my large diaphragm mic. Now, a large diaphragm microphone picks up a much wider range of sounds from different angles. And this gives me the ability to record out here at my desk without picking up too much of the room noise. Now, down here we have my audio interface. This is a Focusrite 2i2. Now, you can get a decent audio interface for between $50 and $150. Know that you're usually paying extra for more channels, right? Which you only need if you're recording more than one voice at a time, or a voice and, say, a guitar or other instruments. You may also want to get a pair of studio monitors. You see mine up there, right? So you can check your sound, but that's not essential right out of the gate. Now, you do need something to record into, right? Software. The good news here is that if you're on a budget, you have two free options. If you're on a Mac, GarageBand is super easy to use, and it's come a long way. And of course, it's free. And if you're a PC or Mac user, you can use Audacity, which is, once again, my favorite price, free. Now, if you're doing mobile recording, there are a ton of free voice recording apps out there. But if you are an iPhone or an iPad, I would highly recommend Twisted Wave. It is super easy to use, it's totally intuitive, and there's a lot of support out there for Twisted Wave and for Audacity as well. All right, let's head back out. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Brian, where do I get all of this stuff? Well, search Amazon, stores like Sweetwater, Guitar Center, B&H for pro audio. Read reviews, watch demo videos of the different products. you'll soon have a better understanding of what you want and what you need. So to recap, travel gear is smaller. Usually the quality is not as good, but you can throw it in your bag, take it with you, and be ready for auditions anywhere, anytime. Plan on spending between $50 and $350. Home setups usually have better quality, but are larger and usually more expensive. USB is a little easier to set up, but the quality isn't as good as an analog or XLR setup. Now, if you're going to use USB, plan on spending between $100 and $300. Now, if you're going with XLR, plan on spending at least $300 to get a mic, an interface, and all the cables you need, plus a decent pair of headphones. Now, remember, a condenser mic is what you want. So regardless of what gear you get, remember that you have to keep your primary focus on honing and developing your craft. Your performance is what gets you the job and drives your career forward. All right, thanks and good luck.